Hey there YouTube, welcome back to the Poland-Lithuania short campaign. I know it's been a while. In our last discussion we decided to go with this alternate campaign. For those of you who think that I was incapable of beating the other campaign that I got myself into, I will go ahead and beat it and then show you the footage at the end so that you can see that I could have pulled it off either way. But indeed, yes, let's move on with this one for the time being. So, let's get started where we left off, which I think I need to, or sorry, where we left off. You haven't really seen this one up to now. I was besieging the Ottomans down here at Constantinople, so we do need to take that city. Let's go ahead and do so. Why not? So let's see what they have defending now. Man, this is pretty crazy. These aren't katana camels, that's for sure. I guess these guys kind of look like katana mob. And I guess we're back in the time period of the true Patchy now, so this ought to be a pretty interesting departure from Shogun. So anyway, let's get into this battle. Alright, here we are on the battle map. I'm assailing the Ottoman Fort. It looks like I need to move my men just a little bit closer if I want to do any real assailing. Maybe still a bit closer. I'll get it right eventually. In any case, I'm going to open fire on some of these wall defenders. I don't really think they can actually cause me too much damage. But I just want to make sure that I give them a fairly savage beating before I attempt to climb up the walls. You can see that here I'm making good use of rank fire. So I have my men 3 lines deep. Apparently the matchlock Samurai and Shogun 2 Total War can also rank fire, I think, if you unlock certain traits. And I was just doing some reading. I guess that actually if you join one of the clans or something, and you can actually get more tokens to increase your units. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any problem with clans, but I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty retarded. It kind of favors towards them, but I mean, I guess though part of what makes it fair is you have to have like level 4 or 5 veteran units anyway before you can even use some of those clan ones. But still, I'm not really sure how that's gonna pan out in the long term, as it would probably give a massive advantage to clan players. If that's the case, then I guess maybe I'll just start up a clan for people who don't have one, or like I'll turn my Heir of Carthage, I say start a clan, it won't really be a clan per se, I just maybe turn my Heir of Carthage fans into a clan, and anybody who's in it, you know, could play on Shogun 2 Total War and use that as an opportunity to get clan tokens, just so that we can make things all fair. Now, again, I don't have any problem with clans or people who want to be in clans. It's just something that I don't typically want to be doing. Just because, I don't know, I guess I just like to play freelance online. I've always been that way. But again, I don't have any problem with people who are in there, so don't take that improperly. So it looks like I've pretty much slaughtered the wall defenders, which should have been pretty easy, to be pretty honest. We pretty much just have these guys up here, who are like the Turkish version of Patchys, except not nearly as heroic as my Patchy. So for those of you who have just been watching Shogun 2, and you've wondered where Patchy came from, this is actually the time and realm of Patchy. He came from this campaign. I think it was like episode 2 or 3 where he came into being, so if you want to go watch that. In fact, I'm going to put this campaign in a playlist for those who might want to, you know, catch any episodes that you've missed. I think that the wall defenders are already sufficiently crappy as to not be able to stop me, so I am going to go ahead and scale the walls. I've taken relatively light losses, even though I've been under cannon fire. So here we are, set my men up to scale the walls. You know, when I first started playing this game, and it said siege battle, and I think I played, one of the first sieges I played was a pretty big city. I don't think it was Constantinople, but I was like, you know, man, this really looks like small, you know, this doesn't look like Constantinople. I didn't realize that, you know, it actually represents a fort outside of the city. So I guess maybe if you were kind of dumb like me, you didn't realize that, you know, because I used to like Rome Total War, you know, when you see a city, you can see the city itself. But of course, you know, in this day and age, I don't know how common it was for entire cities to still have walls. I imagine that was more of an ancient thing. So here's my men scaling the walls with their ropes. Slightly less ninja style than on Shogun, where they just climb up the wall, which is pretty cool. I know I'm enjoying Shogun 2 a whole bunch. I just can't wait until they patch like my avatar armor and stuff like that, and get a few final fixes in there. Once they get that, I'm going to be extremely happy with the game. There's a few nuances here and there, like the naval battles are a little bit messed up. Besides the bugs, I mean, there's some armies that are kind of overpowered, or navies that are kind of overpowered. Like cannon bunés are pretty tough, but then A lot of people think that they're like the worst, including myself. I did, but I've actually recently learned that spams of siege tower bunets are probably even worse. So yeah, they're pretty bad. But you know, like I said, the game's still fun, and I don't really want to do any whining per se, because it's still pretty darn fun. I want to say that it says I own that gatehouse, but I'm sure it won't let me through. Let's see, are the gates held by me? No, it says the gates are held by the enemy. So I'm going to go ahead and start marching my men down into the bottom of the fort here. There was only a few defenders up on the wall by this point, so shouldn't be any big deal. My line infantry down here is still firing at the dudes up on the wall. I really like Empire Total War. You know, this game constantly gets a hard time. Like, I've been reading some of the stuff on the Shogun 2 forums about people being mad about bugs and like, it's not as bad as Empire. Now, don't get me wrong, Empire had its fair share of bugs, but look at this game. The game looks great. Yeah, it really does, and I love the gameplay. I know it's a little bit slower than what you're used to in Napoleon and Shogun, but still, the gameplay is pretty darn sweet. The graphics are good. It was a huge leap forward in the Total War community. Yes, the AI stunk, but overall, man, it really was a good game. And I hate that Empire constantly takes a bad rap from people who like to bash on it just because it had a lot of bugs when it came out. I mean, I do agree it had a lot of bugs, but they fixed most of them, and other than the AI being crappy, which we were pretty much used to in Total War games anyway, this game was really outstanding in my opinion. So here I've got my my line infantry down on the ground level. Let's get them engaged with the enemy. I do have one of my units in square, just because it'll give them a melee advantage, and plus there's all these camels down here. You can hear the goofy camel noises. Here's my guys duking it out with the Turkish peasants. Now, these Turkish peasants actually have like swords and stuff, so in a melee they of course would be much better than probably a lot of the European peasants, but as you can see from this guy right here getting stabbed repeatedly on the ground, there's still no match for my my line infantry. You can imagine that having no training and proper warfare schooling would definitely be a disadvantage on the battlefield. But the armed populist units are dedicated melee units. So I'm going to take this unit out of square actually and just get them involved. And of course the gate is not opening, and I'm guessing it's because there's still some Ottoman units up there. Let's see, over here my men are trying to fight their way down this ramp, and it looks like they are going to make their way down. It's funny, they're all bunched up on the ramp there. And these guys are going to last quite a while just because, you know, they're inside the fort, and that's going to give them a pretty darn good morale boost. It looks like there's some camels coming outside the gate wanting to get involved in a fight, and I reckon I'll give them one. I'm going to countercharge these camels, and I have a square right there. So this ought to be a relatively short engagement. Yeah, camels are only really good against horses in a prolonged melee. Their charge is crappy and they're slow, but if you can get them into a prolonged melee with horses, they kind of frighten the horses, and that's where they're better. But to be honest, the camels on this game just aren't really any good, period. Some of the better camels in the Total War series, of course, would be like the Numidian camel riders on Rome Total War. It still says the gate is held by the enemies. Not really sure why that is. My men are standing right on top of the gate, so kind of seems a little bit out of whack to me. My line infantry units, though, I'm not sure if, because the guys don't rout quickly, I may not have enough men here to win this fight, and I really wish that the gate would switch over to my control. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and crawl these units over the walls. There we go. Yeah, these guys are beating their way through, so there's only 7 of these dudes left, and then I can go assist. My line units down here are going to take a pretty savage beating. In fact, one of them just routed there, you can see that. Only 4 of them left. They're definitely outnumbered. I think maybe I'll just go ahead and try and reform these guys into square. I don't know if they'll do it because they're already engaged in melee, but I think that'll help them last longer if they actually do form up. But since they're in the midst of a melee, they probably won't. Once these guys bash through here, I'm going to line them up and let them fire their gunpowder, or sorry, their gunpowder. Let them fire their muskets. Gunpowder's obviously not a big deal in this game. If you didn't have gunpowder in Empire Total War, you'd be in pretty rough shape. I'm gonna bring these guys down and like keep them right here, lined up where they can do some shooting. And I don't know how these guys are still alive. Come on, kill that last Turk. There he is, laying on the ground. I mean, come on, someone stab him for goodness sakes. We got little Johnny Lives a Lot here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So now I'm going to line these dudes up and open fire on those camels there. And in fact, I've got 2 units now that I can line up and open fire with. So it's pretty much going to be pretty much over for the Turks at this point. I don't know where this unit came from, but I'm glad to have them down here. I'll get them lined up to fire as well. Because if my men start shooting, it's going to be, excuse me, I'm still a little bit sick. It's going to be much more devastating effect on the Ottomans since I have fire by rank. And these dudes are exhausted from having done that melee fight. That's one of the things I hate about fort battles is they take a long time because the enemy pretty much fights to the death. I'm kind of wondering what happened to my... Oh, never mind. There it is. I was thinking I was still on the other control mode. Hey, check out these camels getting roasted here. I guess we're going to be eating good tonight, if camel is considered good eating, which I somehow doubt it is. I'm sure that the fatty meat and the hump of the camel is probably not a prized delicacy by most people's standards. Well, these Ottomans are putting up a decent fight, but I'm pretty sure that it's almost game over for them. I'm going to move these troops forward a little bit. Says the gate is still held by the enemies. Let's just do some fast forwarding because I've been here recording. In fact, I'll probably just stop recording and come back when we're nearly at the end of this, but I thought maybe you'd like some close-ups and some nice battle footage here for maybe some of those of you who aren't familiar with Empire Total War, but many of you probably are. That was actually kind of funny. Usually the Ottomans, or usually the defenders don't surrender in a fort, but all of them like suddenly surrendered. I did lose a couple of line units that I'll need to replace, but I mean that's kind of to be expected. I could have just sieged them out, but I just kind of wanted to show you the fort battle. Having the fire by rank is definitely helpful. It gives you a massive power advantage over the enemies, and this province is going to be obviously unhappy as they don't wish to be under the control of Poland, and also it was the Turkish capital. So yeah, it's going to be upset for quite some time. Up here in the north, like I said, I stopped a Swedish invasion that was on its way through Denmark. We're going to take care of this this lone Swedish army here. You can see my income is quite good, and it's because I built the right economic buildings. I'm still allied with Austria, though I'll probably be going to war with them soon, because you can see that they've already spread all the way into France. And it looks like Westphalia took over the United Netherlands, so that's kind of strange. And then down here in Africa, Spain took over Algiers and Morocco. And let's see, Tunis is still Barbary states, and so is Tripoli. So yeah, we'll have to take care of them in time because they're always a nuisance to your trade routes. I can't even really remember who I'm at war with. First, let's see, we have, as far as the victory regions go, we have 6 out of 8. We still need to get Sweden, which is right here, and we need to get Austria, which is right here. So those are the 2 provinces that we have to have, and then we need 12 other provinces in order to meet the victory conditions, and that's by the end of the year 1799. So that should pose very little difficulty. Let's look at our research. It looks like it's going well. We have one school that's not doing any research, so you always want to put them to work. All right. Sorry for the coughing. Like I said, I'm sick. I'm probably not going to be able to talk for too much longer. Let's go ahead and end this turn. not really sure. I think I'm just going to try finishing off the Ottomans, at least within Europe. I don't really think I'm going to chase them over into the Middle East, because I don't think any of those territories are really worth my while. I think I'm just going to get ready to fight the Austrians, so I'll finish off the Ottomans first. We can probably go ahead and prepare and then push against Sweden. The Barbary states want a peace treaty. I know I could get a peace treaty from them, and it'd be helpful because they wouldn't attack any of my shipping, but I don't really care. I just want to kill them later. Alright. So the population is still hacked off in Constantinople. Let's see, I do have this missionary here. I should probably move him into this new province and help change the religion, and I think that will help change the opinion of the people towards me. Alrighty. I think we're pretty well set. I do have this huge army here. I guess we could just go ahead and invade Sweden, since it's one of the territories that we have to capture. Oh, all these guys need to be retrained, though. I didn't notice that, so we'll just go ahead and end the turn so that training can take place. I'm not sure if I turned on the auto build or not at this point, because I think it's to the point where my economy is pretty stable and I can probably just turn on the auto build. If there's any particular regions that some of you might like to see me invade, why don't you put that in the comments, and I will see what I can do. I mean, if it's absolutely ludicrous, maybe I won't, but I don't know, if some of you want to see, like, maybe a Polish colony in America or in India or something like that, you should tell me, and I'll see what I can do. Again, I don't think I can promise anything, but but I can probably work up something for you. And like I said, I apologize for my voice. I'm just getting over being sick, so you're just going to have to bear with me. I think we need to end one more turn before we can actually march into Sweden. I'm waiting on those guys to replenish. Ottomans are just trying to be a nuisance. Let's see, the Marathas want a trade agreement and a military alliance. Why not? Nope, you're not getting your peace treaty. The diplomacy actually got a little bit better in Empire as time went on. It's not great, but it works. Man, my voice is getting bad fast, and my voice is pretty rough as it is, so I'm just going to leave those Hussars there. I don't really need them in any of the upcoming battles. I guess there were some Swedish troops holed up in that dock, so I'm just going to take my army out now. And we'll start marching towards Stockholm. Now, for those of you who, I mean, obviously it's pretty ahistoric for Poland to actually be beating Sweden. Poland pretty much got beat up by Sweden on multiple occasions. I think in history, I don't really know those well enough to just tell you all of them, but I'm pretty sure it happened a number of times. There's some Ottoman rebels here, and once we fight them, that's probably all I'm going to show you for this time. I gave them a 24-pound howitzer. It's a pretty nice unit to get. See, they have some Mamluks, Delhi horsemen, which are missile cav. So, yeah. Oh, man, they got some Janissary grenadiers. And some trashy bazooks. And some Hussars. Anyway, this shouldn't be much of a fight. I'll show it to you, though. And that'll probably be all for now. And apparently it's a misty day to have a battle. And Air's probably going to have to make this battle quick. As you can tell, his voice isn't going to last much longer. So I'm going to be a little bit reckless here just for fun, and see how well these Ottomans can fend off my cav, as I have quite a bit of it. And I'll also be marching up my infantry. Here go some of the Delhi horsemen. It looks like they're actually coming after my... come on, let me form! There's some kind of hill here. Yeah, there it is. It's not letting me form. I need to get formed up so I can shoot without hitting my own horsemen. Yeah, those Delhi horsemen got the shots off on me first. Hopefully I can return some fire. Here we go. When my dragoons return fire, this ought to be pretty darn effective. Those Delhi horsemen should have charged me, and that actually would have probably killed a whole bunch of my dragoons, but this isn't Shogun 2 Total War, and the AI is just not quite that bright. So, there they go. So, all but 9 of the Delhi horsemen just died. Light dragoons are definitely a better skirmish unit than Delhi horsemen. Oh, what a day. A day for the Ottomans to be crushed. I haven't seen their 24-pound howitzer unit. I wonder what happened to the mini-map, too. I don't see the mini-map. That's kind of annoying. I have to check out my settings. Maybe it's hidden here in the forest or something. Oh, I definitely think they would want to be using it against me, though. Oh, there's the 24-pounder right there in the center of their own troops. I think I'm going to charge those Mamluks. Just dice things up a little bit. Actually, they're charging down towards my infantry, so I'll let them do so. I'll charge these Israelis and let my infantry shoot up those Mamluks. I keep thinking that these guys go into run automatically because I'm now used to Shogun 2. Boy, the AI is really bad, huh? I guess having played Shogun 2 makes you realize how much better the AI is. I mean, and it's not that, I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but it sure is a whole lot better. It's also kind of strange because the battles are so much quicker on Shogun 2, so that's something that's definitely different. Let's see, move those units up. We got here some trashy bazooks coming at me. I think I'll just put this unit in square, give them a little bit of a bonus, and then I'll just wheel up this unit next to him and start firing at the Bashy bazooks. It'll kill some of my own men, but at least it'll get rid of those Bashy bazooks. Check it out, they're formed in square there because they don't want to get charged by my cav. But my cav's not going to be doing anything to him. I'm going to charge those Janissary Grenadiers because I want to get them out of the fight. It's going to be pretty brutal, me shooting these Bashy bazooks in the back. I don't want to shoot my own men too much, though. And they're already routing, so I'll just go ahead and cease and desist there. I killed a lot of my own men. But the Bashy bazooks might be superior to my men in melee. I'm not really sure. Just get all those units attacking. Looks like I was able to rout the Janissary Grenadiers. So this battle is going to be over as soon as these Israelis rout, which these are just cheap line infantry. There they go. So we put down the Ottoman Revolution without too much trouble, and I'll see you back on the campaign map. Alright, there's the results of that battle. I mean, check out how many command stars my general has there too. It's pretty awesome. And then the Ottoman army is going to run off, of course, and just raid my farms and stuff, but I have enough income, I don't really care. I'll just let them march around like idiots for a little bit. And I'll take, well actually I could probably just take this little kind of militia army I have here and just finish these dudes off. There we go. That worked out nice. Having those guys handy. Make sure that I fix all these. There we go. Anyway, hope you're enjoying the Polish campaign. I'll be back to finish it, of course. In the next episode, it looks like we're going to be marching on Stockholm. So sorry for all of my Swedish viewers, but it's a necessary step for me to win the campaign. And I will see you back soon.